Hey, hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Seth Bloom with another one of our Bloom Legal podcasts.
David Grimion here as well.
One of our lawyers. So I guess one of the things we wanted to talk about today, and we love doing these blogs for all the people that listen to us, and we like to talk about different areas of the law. Most of the ones are ones we focus on. But we have a huge tourism industry here in New Orleans. I know we've talked a lot about, people committing crimes when they're here, party crimes, DWIs, that kind of stuff. And that's one aspect of it. But I realize that there's another whole aspect that puts tourists at risk.
Yeah.
And that is injuries.
Absolutely.
Injuries, whether, you're driving around and you have a car accident and you don't know what lawyer to call because you're from Cleveland and you're here in New Orleans. Or even if you're a New Orleanian and it's in the middle of Mardi Gras and there's chaos, we're going to have our answering services are on.
Yep.
Both David and I are in town and we're standing by to help people.
Absolutely.
But
there's other types of injuries.
Yeah, there's other types of injuries. And like I said before, we just talked about, we've done a lot of podcasts and content about party crimes. We've also done a lot about personal injury and car accidents. But what about accidents in hotels? What about accidents in various, tourists,
establishments,
restaurants,
bars, and hotels,
stuff like that? So, one call we get a lot over the years is sometimes, a security guard at a hotel. So let's say you come back and you've had a few drinks and you open your mouth up. That security
guard's probably a little annoyed from other drunk people throughout the day that he's had to deal with, or he's mad that he's working during Mardi Gras or whatever the time might be.
So sometimes he or she isn't too happy to be on the job, and maybe you're a little obnoxious, or maybe you're not doing anything, and he or she misperceives a situation, and there's a fight.
Yeah,
I've seen a security guard break someone's jaw, and certainly there's never that level of force is never acceptable. So if you're injured by a bellman or someone on the hotel staff or someone in, a bartender, or let's say you're going into a bar and maybe you are or you aren't, just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you can get into a fight. That doesn't mean that the bartender or the bouncer
they were justified to beat you up.
They're justified to beat you into a pulp.
Not at all.
Now certainly if there's problems, they can remove you, but they have to do that without,
the proper way, without serious injury, especially if there's no threat to them from you. And so there's other types of injuries too, involving hotels and other establishments, but specifically hotels. I mean, New Orleans, we have a ton of beautiful, nice hotels.
I think it's, with all our convention centers, our Mardi Gras, our Super Bowls, our Sugar Bowls, I think for a city of this size, our per capita for hotel rooms, I think is one of the highest, if not the highest in the country.
It's big.
And look, there's slip and falls, and certainly,
when all these hotels have restaurants and bars and pools and different amenities that they offer, they're like little cities when you go in there.
What happens if you, go into your room and you sit down on the chair and the chair breaks and impales you? That would be an injury that's on them.
Exactly. Or I know we've talked about cases where specific swimming pools were not treated properly, could lead to some type of disease.
Right. If a public pool isn't maintained properly, someone could get Legionnaire's disease or another kind of viral.
And these hotels are held to higher standards. They're held to legal standards of maintaining and a duty to provide a safe environment for all their guests. And so if they're not doing that, and if there is a serious injury or an injury that causes you, physical and emotional and financial pain, then you may have a claim for some compensation. And
you may not have a claim.
Yeah.
And contacting a lawyer, obviously medical's always the first thing. So if the, shower rod breaks off and hits you in the head and you need stitches and you're having problems, you should give us a call. But first you should go in and get medical treatment, get those stitches, see a doctor, go to the emergency room. Afterwards, when you're trying to figure this all out, call us. We're injury attorneys. And we can help navigate and let you know and evaluate your claim so that, and also I think especially if you're at a hotel, most probably, unless you're staycationing, you're probably from another city and you don't know how, like we mentioned earlier in here, you don't know who to go to. Maybe you don't want to go to the guy on the billboard.
Yeah.
But we have experience with these cases. So, hopefully you come to New Orleans, you have a great experience, food, music, fun, and your hotel is beautiful and having no problems.
And nothing bad happens. That's what we want.
But if something happens, you're injured a vehicle, you're injured by a bus,
Uber or Lyft.
Uber, Lyft, good point. A lot of ride sharing. Look, and let's face it, with this ride sharing situation, a lot of these Uber, Lyft drivers, they don't know how to navigate the city of New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
And are driving and don't live in the city, or just during Mardi Gras or times where street closures are common, don't know the ways to get around it. Another thing, streetcar accidents, we've seen those happen before too. People, being hit by a streetcar or being in a car hit by a streetcar. And so those things happen as well. So you always need to have your head somewhat on a swivel when you're here, especially with Mardi Gras time. A lot of revelry going on and traffic and people, because there's more prone to accidents and things like that taking place.
So we just wanted to, put this blog out there, talk about it, the podcast, blog, all the content we do, and just say that we're available for people that are getting injured in hotels, injured while here on vacation, and for locals also.
Absolutely.
But hotels have a lot of responsibilities. So
absolutely,
let us know if you ever need anything, and we're always here to give a helpful tip and talk a little bit about some of the stuff we do here at Bloom Legal. So 504-599-9997, and again, this is Seth Bloom at Bloom Legal.
Thanks, everybody.